On the tee from the United States of America, the Back Nine Bros. Starting in 3, 2, 1.
All right, what's up, y'all? We're back. It's the Back Nine Bros podcast. Welcoming back to the show and welcoming back to the PGA Tour, Mr. Scott Gutschewski. Scott, congratulations, man. How's it feel?
Thanks. It feels great. Kind of a sigh of relief, kind of limped across the finish line on the season. But yeah, it ended up doing enough good things to get the job done.
Yeah, Scott, last time we spoke, it was just after you won Lake Com, and then you came up with the top five finish the following week. I mean, clearly like that chain of events there must have told you there's a good chance I can get it back from that stretch right there.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you feel pretty good. You never know what the number's going to be. And the last couple events are kind of weighted a little extra. So it's a little tougher. But there's always a couple guys that win and don't get it. And there's a little bit of pressure there winning early, knowing that you got to back it up. It obviously takes a ton of pressure off. I mean, it's a great position to be in. But yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of that, gosh, I'm in a great spot. Let's not screw it up. Sort of deal going on.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, now when going through the Corn Ferry Tour finals, I saw it says T58 you finished. So was there a moment where you were like, am I going to be cutting it close, or you were just kind of focused on just playing the round?
Well, I started the week, I think 21st on the points. I think the biggest move there had ever been in the week was 4 guys in, 4 guys out. So I felt pretty safe. And I didn't, I wasn't playing great that week, and it's a tough golf course. And I finally looked at the leaderboard, I guess Saturday after the round. I'm just like, I know I'm not playing well. I know it's playing hard. I just got to see how it looks, because I don't want to be caught off guard by it. And I looked at the leaderboard, and I'm like, this is like an absolute perfect storm of what needs to happen, for me to get knocked out. Now I don't think I ever moved out. And on Sunday, I just tried to keep my composure and do the best I could do. I knew I didn't have very good stuff. But I played pretty darn good. I kept the ball in play pretty well. Played pretty good with what I had. But it's just a tough golf course, and I just had a really hard time making birdies out there. So, I mean, I was, obviously I was happy I got it. I accomplished the ultimate goal. But it was tough. It was a tough week.
For sure. I mean, and you said entering you were 21st, and seemed like you're pretty safe, but in those events, are you much of a leaderboard watcher and the points watcher, you and your caddy, or what's going through your heads there?
Not really. I don't mind looking at the leaderboards. I think the projected points are kind of silly.
Yeah.
Because if 3 guys are tied for the lead, they'll give them all first place points. It's like that just can't happen. But I mean, that's just projections, and that's fun for everybody to follow, and it's exciting, and I get it. But it's kind of, I mean, the projections are fine, and I get it. But yeah, I don't pay too much attention to them, especially the guys up at the top that are leading, because that's just 3 guys can't get that many points.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And Scott, let's move it back a little bit. So obviously we had you after your win at Laycom, and then a week after at the top 5, had that top 5 finish. When did you realize, okay, it's real? I got a real shot at this. Towards the I guess dog days of the season, when you guys are out in Chicago in the middle of July, and then that stretch in August, and the really tough stretch at the very end there, even the week before at Ohio State. That's a tough course as well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I knew as soon as I won, I knew there was a real shot. Get my card. I mean, when you can get 500 points in a week and it only takes 8 something to get it, like that's a pretty good chunk of points you're taking care of in 1 week. And then I backed it up with another nice week. So I mean, it was real all along, but I mean, like I said, I was doing my best to make sure I was making quality starts, and not wearing myself out and being fresh, for the stretch run of the season. And I was pretty happy with how I played. I mean, the results didn't really show up on the leaderboard, but I think I made 3 of the 4 cuts in I think they're called playoff events now. Are they playoffs or finals? I don't know. It's hard to keep track. They kind of go back and forth. But I gave myself good opportunities. I just kind of never really got on a hot streak, and just kind of couldn't put 4 rounds together in those.
Yeah, I mean, well, we consider a win in a T5 big hot streak for us, at least. We would take those in a heartbeat. But looking forward now, so now you got the card locked up. When does your first start? Do you get any events in the wraparound, or is it the calendar year?
No, I think we start on the calendar year. So
Gotcha.
First start should be Hawaii, I believe, if it holds to what previous years have been.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. That should be fun.
Not a bad place to start.
No, not the worst. Not the worst.
That's true. Well, looking ahead to that, how are you gonna prepare in these next few months, going out to Hawaii? Obviously, it's, I guess, a step up in competition. Courses may be tougher, maybe different. Obviously, a lot of different tracks. Is there really any change in the game or any change in the practice routine? What are you thinking about doing?
Well, I mean, I'm getting older. Trying to compete with the youngsters. Speed's a big deal. My speed's not bad, but I think there's a little bit of room for improvement. So I'm going to do some speed training, which I usually do in the off season anyways. But I'm really going to try to make a commitment to keep it up through the year next year. I started working out with a trainer a little over a year ago, and it's definitely helped a lot. So I'll keep doing that, and we'll kind of tweak what we're doing a little bit after what we saw this year. And then going to be looking a little bit, maybe trying to sneak a couple extra yards out of the ball by switching the golf ball, and maybe something a little higher and softer, and further. Like, that all sounds good, right?
Which are you moving to? You going? You were a Titleist guy, right? So were you Pro V1 now going to Pro V1X?
Yeah, I'm a Titleist guy. I think I'm gonna get. I guess in 22, I kind of dabbled with the left dash.
Yeah.
A little bit, but we never really had much time. I never really had the time to really test it out at home. Great. I just kind of hit it on the road, and then I was like, gosh, that goes way further. I should try that.
It's a great ball. I play it. I love it. It's a little bit of a piercing ball flight, little less spin. But I mean, it feels like the Pro V1X, but it's literally what it is like the 2014 Pro V1X. They brought it back. So I love it.
So I'm going to give that a shot here in the off season and see if I can get used to it. The different distances and everything. Because I mean, gosh, if I can just switch the ball and pick up some yards, that's great too, right?
Yeah.
And then if I can add a couple, add a little bit to my swing speed through the speed training and working out, then that's great.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and also, I mean, this isn't your first rodeo, so I mean, you've been out there on tour for quite some time. Which is the event you're looking most forward to this coming season?
With the new schedule and I think there are signature events now. I'm not even actually sure what we're getting into. For now, I'm looking forward to Hawaii and getting off to a good start there.
Yeah, definitely fair. I mean, Coop is one. He loves Hawaii. Or no, you played Kapalua, right?
Yeah, I got the chance to go out there a few years ago, and it was just a spectacular experience. Hopefully, if we see a win by you sometime this next calendar year, so you get to play the Century. That would be that would be awesome. That would be awesome, man. Actually, going back to the golf ball real quick. Obviously, golf technology is not my strong suit. What I really want to know though, are you going to stick with the yellow ball?
If they make it in yellow, I will.
Let's go. That's
I
what
like yellow ball. It's a little easier to see. I kind of like that it's a little different. And if they make it in yellow, I'll definitely have the yellow ball.
Fantastic.
When you play it, when you got the early morning tee times or finishing late in the day, it's definitely helped.
Definitely does.
When did you start playing that ball?
Gosh, I actually started playing the Strixon yellow ball. I don't know, maybe like 15, 16, 17, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a while. I played the yellow ball for quite a while. And, when I used that left dash a little bit in 22 on tour, and they didn't make it in yellow.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get a special batch made for me. Probably not. But maybe I can talk somebody else into asking for it.
So what was the reason behind getting a yellow ball? Just visualization or like?
Yeah, just easier to see. Just no other reason than it was just easier to see. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be, and it was easier for me to follow my golf ball.
That's fair.
Fantastic. Well, hey, let's move off the next year in the tour real quick. You should extend congratulations to your son as well. I know he had a win recently. Was it a college event or an amateur event?
College event, yeah. Over in Des Moines, he won Zach Johnson's event.
Wow.
The Drake's event there in Des Moines.
Awesome. Did you get the chance to go to that, or?
I didn't. We actually just recently moved, so we were moving during that time, and that was that tournament. It was, it's like 2.5 hours away from us, and we couldn't go because we were moving.
Then what? Well, hey, more when that will go and whatever. Another thing too, obviously, Cornhuskers not looking too great so far. Hey, good win.
You had to throw that in there, huh, Coop?
We're looking a lot better than we have in the past years. I am totally drinking the Rule-Aid here. So I'm on board. I like what he has to say. I like what he's doing. He looks pretty comfortable in his own skin to me. I think he believes in what he's doing, and I think he's done it before. I think he can do it in Lincoln. I think it's going to take a couple of years, and I don't know if we'll ever be what we were before. But I think he's a darn good coach, and I think he's going to get us back being competitive.
I can see it.
I hope so. And just going off on a quick tangent here. I'm a huge college football fan, and college football is always better with Nebraska being up top there. I'm a Maryland fan myself. I'm from the DC area. A lot of family went to College Park. I'm scared. I'm scared when we're playing. So it should be a good game there in a few weeks and everything. But back to so obviously tournament. So looking forward to Hawaii. Are you gonna be on a pretty regular schedule on tour? Going to take some weeks off? You played a good amount this past year. For a stretch, pretty much every week on the Corn Fair. Are you going to keep that schedule, you think?
Yeah, it's just kind of based on your eligibility on tour and what you get into. It's a little tougher to. I'm probably not, unless I have a bunch of success real early. I probably won't take many weeks off. But I'm also not going to get in every week. I'm not going to get into the signature events at the moment. Not in those, and some of the smaller fields and stuff.
Let's win Hawaii and we'll get in those, right?
Yeah, I'll win Hawaii and I'll play whenever I want. Maybe once a month or something. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's the goal. The goal there is to win and improve your status. But we'll take it. In the past when I've been in this situation, it's just kind of I've basically just played when I get in. And at the moment, that's what it looks like. But I'd love to go out and play well and get to be a little pickier about my schedule, I guess.
Yeah, and in terms of goals, not sure if you're much of a goal setter, but do you have any goals or aspirations for the coming season? Obviously to keep your card, but anything further beyond that?
Sure. I mean, I'd love to keep my card. I'd love to win. There's a lot of things I'd like to do out there. Yeah, keeping my card, winning, are probably the two biggest. I guess I really haven't sat down and thought about it beyond that. But I still think, given the right golf course and the right conditions, I still think I can give myself a chance out there.
Yeah. So which golf course could you see yourself possibly thriving on the most?
Hawaii is a pretty good one for me.
Go.
I like the golf course in San Antonio. I think that one's a pretty good one for me. Trying to think what else. PGA Nationals, pretty good one for me.
Love
That's
it.
my favorite.
So you're going with the shot makers course.
Yeah, I mean, I think yeah, I mean, I have a pretty good history of playing pretty well in the wind.
Yeah.
I guess my preferred conditions, it would be like warm and windy. With the course kind of baked out. Not really loving the cold weather as a 47-year-old. Don't really love the wet and soft. So warm and windy, I kind of like that. So South Florida and February or March is kind of that. Hawaii can be that.
Valspar.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I mean, I I think given the right situation, I think I can give myself a chance. And
Yeah,
like Hitler says, even on weeks that I don't, like 20th plays quite a lot.
So would you be setting your schedule more revolving around weeks like or events like those, like where you feel like suits best, or you're just going to take advantage of every start?
I'll try to take advantage of every start. But I think I'll probably maybe I'll expect a little more, maybe kind of build my practice and preparation around those events a little bit more, to try to maybe be a little bit more on my game for those weeks, I guess. I mean, kind of trying to peak, I guess, kind of like the top players do for the majors, I guess. Right. I'll probably be thinking about those tournaments a week before, and if there's a shot that I know I need to hit, start working on that or something like that.
Yeah, and in terms of majors, I know Masters and US Open has and the Open has certain qualifications, but PGA Championship, are you exempt for that or no?
No. I gotta play well to get into that.
Okay.
All right.
You were gonna say something, Coop? Did I interrupt you?
It was actually going to be something on the major. Out of the four places we're obviously going to be this year. Obviously Augusta being every year. What's the course that you prefer the most out of all of these?
We're at it's Augusta, Pinehurst number 2.
Yep.
Right.
Troon is the Open.
Troon.
Yep. And then PGA is Bethpage, isn't it?
Bethpage, and that was really hard.
I don't know where it is. Gotta fact check that.
God.
That was really hard.
It's Valhalla. It's Valhalla.
Valhalla, that's it. Kentucky.
Yeah. I was down at Pinehurst number 2 this summer with both of my sons played down there. One of them played in the North-South Amateur and the other one played in the North-South Junior. Mm-hmm. That Pinehurst too, that's quite the golf course. That would be a fun one to play. It looks really hard. But that would be a lot of fun.
Well, you said you thrive more on the more difficult courses, PGA National, Innisbrook. I mean, so Sony's pretty difficult in YLI.
It can be. It can be. Yeah. It's also given up a 59.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. And also, Matt, just like when you said PGA National, I could tell Matt just lit up. That's his favorite course all year.
I mean, well, I wouldn't say favorite course. I mean, no, on the PGA Tour, like regular schedule, yeah, I love that event. I think it challenges the players more than any other event. I really do. Just non-major, maybe even more than Sawgrass. If that place gets windy, I mean, anything under par is a great score.
Yeah, it's hard. There's some really demanding par threes and tee shots.
Yeah.
It's hard. Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously the course, I would say majority of the Florida courses are pretty difficult in Bay Hill, Innisbrook, Sawgrass. But would you agree PGA National is probably the toughest?
I've never played in the Players. But yeah, I mean, I think PGA National is pretty tough, especially when it gets windy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good test. I mean, they're all pretty darn good. You know, you got to golf your ball down there in Florida. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, Scott, we're obviously going to be rooting for you all season. We'll be watching, and I hope we can get out to some tournaments. There's some more tournaments up by Matt, up in the Jersey, New York area.
Are there?
Praying they're gonna bring a DC tournament back. I mean, actually real quick, did you ever play at Congressional or Avenel?
Yeah, I played at Avenel a couple times. I played there. I played there before they redid it.
Mm-hmm.
And we played some Corn Ferry events there.
Yep.
And I played there in 22 when they had Wells Fargo there because the PGA was at Quail Hollow.
Right.
But that was awful. I mean, that weather was awful. It was cold.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was cold. Yeah.
It's either super cold there, or then we'll have it in the middle of July and it's 1,000 degrees, thunderstorm rolling in.
Yeah, that's an amazing golf course there. They did a great job there for sure.
Yeah,
I know you said you've been working with a new fitness coach for the past year and doing some speed training. So can you take us into some of that? What exactly goes into all that? For you specifically, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he has me I don't get too crazy or anything as far as like tons of rotational stuff or anything like that. I mean, he has me doing some squats and some lower body stuff, and then he actually has me sprint, which I was like, really? Like, I've sprinted for so long. He said, it's all right, you can do it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be good at it to start. And we do these short little sprints. I do like a 10-yard sprint. I do a little circuit of 10-yard sprints a couple times a week and 20-yard sprints a couple times a week. And then there's some jumping and kind of some stuff like that just to work on my explosiveness and stuff. And yeah, I mean, the things you do to try to be successful, I guess. I'm out there sprinting and I go, I'm on the road and I'll try to find a secluded place behind a hotel to go do my sprinting so nobody sees me. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it is. And there's a little bit of jump roping and stuff like that. Nothing crazy, nothing crazy.
So have you seen a significant amount of distance like increase in the past year or so?
Not really. When I went and saw him, I said, I hit the ball far enough to be competitive.
Right.
I'm not super worried about distance, and that's where we started. I said, I just want to feel better at the end of the week, and I want to feel better at the end of the year. He kind of came up with a plan to do that, and it worked. And I felt better at the end of the week. So when I met with him, gosh, it's probably 6, 8 weeks ago, when I was home one week, and I said, okay, you got me feeling better at the end of the week. I said, now we need to start working on some speed. And we really need to focus on that in the off season. So he said, all right. He said, we're not gonna switch anything right now. He said, but when you get done with your season, we're gonna tweak things and we're gonna try to get you some more speed.
So, but this was like speed training. I mean, isn't that in effort to try and pick up more distance?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So would you say you picked up like a couple to like 2 to 5 yards?
Oh no, I didn't pick up much this year. I mean, the sprinting and stuff was supposed to be more explosive. But I don't know that worked. I think I needed to be a little bit more diligent about, I'm going to do that stack system.
Yeah.
I think I need to kind of stick to that in the off season and then continue it through the year. Is my plan anyways. That's what I think is going to make the difference as far as keeping the swing speed up.
So are you going to amp it up at all, or just stick with the same routine for when, in terms of moving on now to the PGA
Yeah.
Tour?
Well, you know what? I'm going to find out here in the next couple weeks, when we get going, and we'll see what he has for me.
Perfect. Well, Scott, this was once again a pleasure to have you. I mean, I know Coop and I really appreciate it, and along with our viewers. So, I mean, thank you so much again. And, we wish you nothing but the best this coming season. And yeah, let's try and get that win in Hawaii.
That's right. I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
Of course, man. Thank you. Always. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.